So there's a new charge to ease traffic snarl-ups and toxic air, which means motorists will have to pay a traffic congestion charge, and companies hit with a new tax for every ton of carbon emitted from their plants. If a government proposal to protect the environment is adopted, the Treasury disclosed plans for the daily variable toll in a policy document made public yesterday in the race to ease traffic snarl-ups and air pollution. Just very quickly, under the plan, the state is seeking to introduce a congestion charge. Now, this fee will be charged on cars driven in zones marked as heavy traffic areas, such as the Central Business District. Wakili Dunstan, I want to get your thought, but also let me introduce Hesbon Owila, media and political communication expert, into the panel conversation. A very good morning, Karibu Sana. But let me get Wakili's view on this issue of this new charge. So some will say, well, this is a new tax that is going to burden us as Kenyans, but also we'll have to look at the issue of environment, and perhaps some would say this is a good thing.
Well, the questions about climate change were issues that were done when Professor Muga was around, called the ozone layer. Today, the issues about the climate change has affected us. Every village in this country is feeling the heat on the terms of the climate change. The weather patterns, the droughts that we are facing, the heat wave that we are seeing, the type of sudden rainfall that is causing floods and others. So it is no longer an issue for the Americans or for the British. It is a global question that has been domesticated here. So Kenyans be alive to the reality that whatever we are doing here, whatever emissions that are toxic that are going to the environment, has an impact on our health, has an impact on the environment. The ecosystem, once it has been affected, then this world in a million years to come will not be a place habitable for human beings. So let us comply with.
So good proposal.
It is a good proposal because it's global. It is going to affect our generations that are coming. So may I endorse it that but also the question is, will anybody be able to tame China and the other countries that have completely refused to enter into these global discussions on how to tame the environment?
Right. Arnold, just very quickly, your thoughts on this, from where you see it, good or bad, the proposal?
I have reservations actually buying into these climate change stories, and especially burdening Africa, seeing that Africa, it's said, quote unquote, to be producing between 4% to 6% of emissions.
But bearing the heaviest brand.
But we actually are bearing the greatest brand, and you see that even locally we are using that to justify new taxation regimes and things like that. You know, I still have got this feeling that when we have resources, for example, and I've used this example in this particular set. Volkswagen, for example, one of the leading motor vehicle manufacturers, in their biggest plant, it still runs on coal 100%. That's Volkswagen in Germany. Here, we are struggling, Willa and I and Wakili here are struggling to sound eloquently as we try to help the state and the public get jobs, fix society and everything else. We have got coal in Kitui, and then we've got so many guys telling us on how we cannot use that. We would like to put up a nuclear plant in Tana River, and then we are being told we cannot do that. And we have got burdens of millions of young people out there who are a threat to the an existential threat to the country itself. So I know this, the guys who are doing taxation and everything else, if this thing actually went through public participation, I don't think it wouldn't get to where it is. Two, I do not also think that that contributes largely to making the quality of the air in Nairobi actually much better. We need to fix public transport before we do this. So if you're going to tax us, quote unquote, as a disincentive, so that we do not come out with our cars and probably we maintain them better and everything around that, have you fixed public transport? Everywhere in the developed world that we really desire to emulate, if you ask them, you find that public transport has actually been fixed in a way that anyone, including the country's head of state, can actually use public transport effectively. That's not working here. So you've not fixed public transport, then you are taxing us more. What are you doing? You're making the essence of actually being in the city very difficult.